Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the History Shelf. My name is Peg. Thanks for joining me today for this long overdue installment in my series that I call Indie Author Spotlight. There's a little identifier so you will remember me. Here at the History Shelf, I cover a lot of different books, lots of mainstream history, nonfiction, lots of fiction as well. And one of the passions that I have is to help elevate independent authors that are out there following their dream. They're writing books, and they don't have the big mainstream kind of steamrolling publishing houses to back their work, and they really rely on word of mouth. They rely on people like, I guess, people like me to just take a look at their work, read it, share with you guys. And it's a passion of mine. I really love just helping people out. And I've always thought that I was going to write a book. Now, a friend of mine, an author that I've interviewed within the last year, has told me on camera that he knows that I will write a book someday. So we'll see. I could be that independent author one day. So yeah. I mean, it's what do you call it? Paying it forward. It all comes full circle, guys. So welcome to my Indie Author Spotlight. We've got 4 new books, 4 new authors I want to highlight to you with some interesting stories behind them. But let's start with this one because I think the idea, well, this one is very overdue. And all I can do is thank the author and thank the publicist who is, I think her agent has just been working so hard to get word out about this book. Now, I am a one-woman show here at the History Shelf. And my time is very limited. But so I'm trying to read as much as I can, but still maintain my job, my home life, and my 4 dogs. It's hard to do. And there goes my autofocus again. I apologize, everybody. Anyway, it will focus on me at some point. But let's get started. I wanted to introduce this novel to you to see if it might be of interest to you. This is called Silenced Whispers by Afarin Ordubadi Belisario. Silenced Whispers, a novel. All right. I'm gonna read the back to you, let you know what it's about. It did receive an honorable mention at the New York Book Festival, I should say. While other Iranian girls of the early 20th century cook, sew, and wish for marriage, Gohar climbs trees, reads books, plays tar, despite the ban on music, and dreams of escaping her forsaken desert town. But when her forbidden correspondence with a non-Muslim boy is discovered, fear of banishment forces the fatherless Gohar to welcome the protection of a powerful nobleman. At 14, she marries his choice of husband, a 55-year-old politician, and enters her marital home in a white chador to leave it in a shroud. But fate takes her to Tehran, where, dazzled by the electric lights, she is appalled by misery, brought on by domestic corruption and foreign meddling. Endangering her life and marriage, she joins reformist women while secretly idolizing Aslan, a mysterious Russian allied with the Iranian nationalists and hunted by assassins and spies. Then Russia invades northern Iran. The country erupts, and she learns that fear is no excuse for cowardice. Wow. Oh, that sounds fantastic. That has like elements of like thriller. This has a lot more action than I thought it might. And I think the time frame, oh, I see. Yes, it's set in the early 20th century. And it says right there in the beginning, early 20th century. We're looking in like 1909 through 1916 through 1916. Oh, this looks great. So I need to make time to get this read. It sounds right up my alley. again, it looks like it's independently published, but I guess if you just type in and if you're looking on Amazon or elsewhere or Barnes and Noble, Silenced Whispers by Afaron Ordubadi Belisario. I did have someone in the comments ask for the older folks out there to hold up the book a little longer so you can see the name and author. So I hope that suffices. There you go. Okay. So moving on. Yeah, I definitely need to read this one because I didn't realize it had all these elements of like espionage and, revolutionaries and forbidden romance. Bring it my way is what I'm saying. Okay. All right. And then a very kind man reached out to me on email and asked if I would be interested in looking at a copy of his book that he spent a lot of time writing and researching. And so much like raw primary source material that is copied in the back. That is fantastic. Okay, so this is called Playing a Poor Hand Well, Surviving the Irish Potato Famine, Slums of Glasgow, and Untamed American West. An unbowed homesteader dares to steal the American dream. So it has one of those old-fashioned, really long subtitles that they used back in the late 19th century. And the author is John Stephen Wilson. Sorry, John. The goal is to get this read, and I'm not. I meant to have this read, but at the end of May. And then life happened. So, John, I hope you understand. I will get to it this summer, and we're looking at having him come on for an author interview. I've got a lot of author interviews now that are just, June is a crazy. I'm doing I'm doing interviews for this channel, and I'm also doing interviews for another outlet that I write for. So I'm very excited about those opportunities. But for this channel, I would like to have John come on and talk about how he researched and wrote this. But let me go ahead and give you a description of the book, because you're probably like, what are we looking at here? Okay. Born into poverty, William John Wilson had a little chance to rise, but he refused to be defeated. From Glasgow's slums to a respected position with the vaunted Glasgow City Police, then across the Atlantic to the American frontier, he played every hand fate dealt him with cunning, courage, and relentless perseverance. Drawing on decades of genealogical research, John S. Wilson tells a richly detailed story of famine, crime, law, and frontier survival. I was going to say that's perfect for June on the Range reading, right? This looks like something that would fit so well reading about just the Old West. Excuse me. Wilson's life intersects with transformative historical events, offering readers both the thrill of narrative nonfiction and the depth of a historical epic. This book is for genealogists, history enthusiasts, legal historians, and narrative nonfiction readers alike. A masterclass in resilience, ingenuity, and the human spirit. So John, the author, is the great-great-grandson of his subject, William John Wilson. I'll give you a little bit more about the author here. After graduating from Georgetown University Law Center in 1988, he went into private practice in Norfolk, Virginia as a trial attorney. Let's see, I'll skip down here a little bit. Drawing on his legal expertise and a lifelong passion for historical research, John has become proficient in forensic genealogy, meticulously tracing land titles, family lineages, and historical records to present compelling evidence in court. A history major by education and an investigator by profession, he brings a unique blend of analytical rigor and narrative skill to his writing. In this book, he weaves courtroom-honed genealogical analysis spanning the ocean and nearly 2 centuries with richly detailed historical storytelling. Fabulous. So we're going to learn about his great-great-grandfather, William John Wilson. Like I said, lots of documents that are kind of like photocopied in here. Um, wow, that's a lot. What a work. What a testament. What a tribute to his ancestor. Chapter 4, Journey to the American West. So as you can see, I've got some indie books here I've got to get cracking on. He's got a lot of appendices in here. This is fascinating with authentic like land titles, other type of historical documents that you can see. There are photos throughout. So minus the appendices, it's over a 300-page read. But I'm looking forward to it. The trial of the detectives. See, there's people out there who are, and John's a lawyer, so he's got work, but then then he has his project, and it's a passion project. And he's researching and writing about his great grandfather, and I just applaud people who are able to do that amount of research. I did that in college, and I just can't even imagine doing that now with everything else I've got going on. It's hard work, and it deserves to be rewarded, I think. So anyway, keep an eye out for this. Again, it's called Playing a Poor Hand Well by John Stephen Wilson, independently published. So you just have to type in the name in any place you're shopping for books and see what comes up. But you can get this on Amazon, I'm quite sure. Okay, another independent work. It's a memoir, and it sounds delightful. I wanted to get this in this video because Joe, the author, was kind enough to send me a copy of this. And he knows I'm super slammed. I'm super busy with just an avalanche of things that I need to read, reviews to write, videos to make. But I said, let me get this in front of people's eyes right now, though, so they can see what's out there. And then I'd like to read it and just, I might even just post on social media, might be the easiest way to circle back to these books. Anyway, this is called A Catholic Kid from a Jewish Neighborhood, Snapshots of a Jersey Childhood by J.A. Brizek. Joe, I hope I got your name pronounced correctly. Hey, everyone gets my name wrong for the most part, even though if you just sound it out phonetically, it's so easy. But then here, I could say that I've mangled your name, but I think it's Brizek. We'll go with that. All right, look at this cool photo. Kind of reminds me of the kid from A Christmas Story, right? And this is definitely independently published. We got a photo on the back. So let me tell you what this is about. How would you survive growing up in a cramped Cape Cod with 10 brothers and sisters? Wow. A father who could terrify a grizzly and a mother whose sense of humor should have come with a warning label. That's funny. A Catholic Kid from a Jewish Neighborhood is Joe Brizek's laugh out loud memoir, which I've just laughed out loud. Look at that. Of navigating childhood in a king-sized Catholic family during the turbulent 60s and 70s. Think of it as a cultural exchange program he never signed up for. Catholic kid, Jewish neighbors, and enough chaos to keep the whole block entertained. Between a sibling swarm that could field a football team, the neighborhood escapades, and the daily tightrope walk between childish fear, fun, and faith, Brizek takes you on a warm, witty journey through the beautiful mess of growing up. Told as a series of childhood snapshots, the story swings from joy to anxiety, hilarity to heartbreak. Brizek wanders the wilderness of juvenile insecurity while learning how to stand on his own 2 feet before finally stumbling across the graduation finish line. If you've ever been part of a big family, grew up in a neighborhood that shaped you, or simply survived adolescence with most of your sanity intact, this memoir is the best family reunion you never knew you needed, with a lot more siblings. And there's a photo of the family. I can tell you, this sounds somewhat familiar to me because my mother was Catholic, or grew up Catholic in a Michigan neighborhood, although, but we had family in New Jersey at not Cape Cod, but Cape May, where everyone would the extended family would drive out from Detroit to go to Cape May. But my mom is the eldest of 7 kids. So, I mean, Joe's got my mom beat by three more siblings. But so I know a lot of aunts and uncles. And yeah, and my grandmother was Irish, and she had a wicked sense of humor as well. This sounds really funny, and I bet my mom would love to read this. It sounds like the feel good kind of book that she could really use. So I'm gonna send this off to my mom after I take a gander at it, take a peek, give her a read, and I'm gonna tell my mom about it because I think that might, hopefully bring back some good memories for her as well. But a Catholic Kid from a Jewish Neighborhood: Snapshots of a Jersey Childhood by J.A. Brysek. So check it out if you're interested. Okay, final book. This will be a short video for me. Now, while this one does have a publisher, I was contacted by a family member who said that this was written by a man who actually had passed away before it was published, I believe. So he passed away in 2023. But wow, what a story. This is called Smuggler's Flight: The High-Flying Adventures and Daring Aerial Exploits of a Bootlegging Black Market Pilot. Look at this, by Chuck Stewart. Chuck passed away, though, in 2023, but his family wanted to do right by him and get his book published. And so his story is out there now. Let me read it to you. Strap in for this thrilling true-to-life account of the dangerous career of bootlegging pilot Chuck Stewart. From his home base in McAllen, Texas, Chuck flew to clandestine strips all over Mexico, mostly in twin-engine DC-3 and Beech 18 aircraft, and battled everything from treacherous weather and mechanical failures to unexpected duck attacks and unfriendly fire from the Mexican federales. Along the way, he ferried electronic equipment, desperate patients seeking medical care, VHS tapes, and other goods across the border, everything but drugs and guns, a line he refused to cross. Through his recollections of a high-stakes career, Chuck offers readers an inside look into the dangers, adventures, and rewards of being a member of the, quote, South of the Border Club. Smuggler's Flight is a vivid portrait of what it means to live life to the fullest on the edge of the law. Chuck's dramatic account includes tales of pulling his co-pilot out of a downed plane before it burst into flames, maneuvering in the dead of night on cactus-filled runways, outracing authorities in his trusty 5.7 Sugar, and more. This is not just a recounting of perilous flights and gallant deeds. It is a glimpse of one man's life that was rich with family, friendship, faith, and the unique camaraderie that can only be found among these unconventional aviators. Oh, and I already know I've got the perfect reader for this book, and it's my brother-in-law. It's my whiskey taste tester, Dave, because Dave's got a pilot's license. He doesn't fly anymore, but I mean, he loves going to the air shows and the commemorative Air Force. They do shows out here with those old warbirds and stuff, and yeah, he's an what do you call an car guys are called gearheads. So what do you call aviator guys, right? He would love this. So I want to thank the family of Chuck Stewart for reaching out to me. I'm sorry for the wait on this, but I wanted to make sure I had at least 4 books for this next indie author spotlight. And it's out right now. The press is Octane Press. But what a fun story. And he drew the line at guns and drugs. So that's good. That's good. Let's see. And rest in peace, Chuck. But your book lives. It is out there. And there's our author. I just wanted to put that out there. There we go. Fantastic. Your book is in the world, Chuck. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share these books with you. Check out Smuggler's Flight. There seems to be a nice range of things. We've got kind of like two memoirs of sorts. We've got Smuggler's Flight. We've got a Catholic kid from a Jewish neighborhood. We've got a researched kind of like life story of one man's great-great-grandfather coming from Glasgow all the way over to America, and how he played a poor hand well. And finally, a novel that just sounds like this one is going to be a barn burner here. Silence Whispers. So let me know in the comments below which one of these really appealed to you. Yeah, again, I love elevating. I keep saying that word, elevate, but yes, it's just letting people know these books are out there. And there's so many more books that are, not published by mainstream presses, but that are just as engaging. You might find something in there that really just speaks to your spirit. You just never know. So again, support indie authors, support small presses. They're going up against these mega monolithic publishing companies, and there's so many stories in the world. The billions of people that exist. It's like these are like real people that just don't. We're not rich and famous, but they have a story to tell. They have something interesting about their lives, or they have an imagination that can come up with an amazing storyline. I mean, it's so worth it. It's so worth just discovering these little treasures along the way. So thanks for watching my video. Give me a like and subscribe. Drop a comment, because I'm trying to grow this channel to really show more of the independent writing. Of course, I really love having that historical aspect to the books that I cover, but sometimes I range outside of those as well. But anyway, if you are an indie author and you think that you have a book that kind of fits what I do on this channel, the topics I cover, you can reach out to me. My business email address is in the About tab on my YouTube page. So just go onto that tab and look down there for my business email address. Click on it, send me a note. Happy to hear from you guys. Anyway, I want to thank the authors and the authors' families for sending me, just emailing me. Sorry, there goes the... Just emailing me and reaching out and taking a chance. Thank you so much. And trust and believe, I will get to these books, but in the meantime, I know at least I have people that I know would really like to read these, and I am going to share these books with them as well. So sharing the love, spreading the wealth. So there you have it. Thanks again for joining me for this Indie Author Spotlight, everybody. I'll be back as soon as I have another stack of 3 or 4 indie books. So until next time, guys, thanks. Be safe out there. And again, support indie authors. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.